Tonight, Troy's campus is about to become a smoke-free campus.
Plus, impact sessions are not just for future Troy students. Stay tuned. Troy TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
From the high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus, with news from Troy University locations around the world, this is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for July 16, 2012. I'm Christina Cook.
And I'm Judson Garner. Thank you for joining us this evening.
In 1 month, Troy University will become a tobacco-free campus. Starting August 15th, no tobacco products of any kind will be permitted on campus at Troy, a new policy that seems to have some mixed reviews among students. 1 month from today, Troy will become a tobacco-free university, and many students had a lot to say about the new policy.
I think it's a great idea, and I think it will give students the type of awareness they need on how smoking can affect their life.
I think it's great. One of my least favorite things walking into campus or into buildings are people standing outside smoking.
I think it's for the best. People who do, it's a choice and they can. But at the same time, it's also kind of a hassle for other people to have to walk through it.
And you would think that most smokers wouldn't be too enthused about the new non-smoking policy, but some are.
Being a smoker, I do believe that is still the right direction to go because it's for the greater good of everyone. I'll probably smoke less which is good, just because I can't smoke on campus now, it's fine with me. It'll just help me quit, which is something I need to do anyway.
But with many smokers on Troy's campus, will the university be strict or lenient with the new ban?
It doesn't bother me at all. I just think maybe you should restrict it to some areas.
I think there should be zones or sides or corners off campus or to the side of campus.
You know you're going to have some hardheads that's going to smoke anyway. Then you got the folks that actually going to try to listen to the rules. But hopefully the ones that try to respect the rules will get the other folks that don't to respect it also.
Once again, Troy University's new tobacco-free policy will go into effect on August 15th.
Every summer, incoming freshmen get to know about their new school for the next 4 years during impact orientation. But it turns out that students are not the only ones who learn about their new school. Bailey Majors explains.
Troy's impact orientation sessions may be geared towards getting new students better acquainted with Troy University, but parents also attend workshops to learn a thing or two about what it means to be a Troy Trojan.
This is for the parents and for us to learn about Troy and all the things that the students need to know.
We had our parents here for this morning doing an academic session, advising session, financial session.
Educates us on a little bit about what's going on with the campus and what to expect for our children.
Parents who attend the sessions are able to learn valuable information regarding class schedules and financial aid, as well as information about academic fees and penalties.
We encourage the parent how to instruct their students for their actual academic registration, what's acceptable and what's not acceptable for the credit hours, and just give them some overall advice on what to look for in their student for their first year here at Troy.
Two other important topics parents were able to learn about during the sessions were meal plans and how to budget flex points around campus and at the dining facilities.
I'm getting a lot of information that, questions I'm asking that I wouldn't have thought to ask before this.
Leaders of the sessions and parents both say that attending the impact session will help alleviate some of the parents' concerns about their child starting college.
They walk in really taken back, overwhelmed with everything, not really knowing where to start. So we're trying to give them, step 1 to step 10, on how to prepare themselves and their student for this huge undertaking of beginning their college career.
We was very nervous coming here today, and just the information and seeing the other parents has eased so much apprehensive.
Bailey Majors, Troy TrojanVision News.
There are 2 more freshman impact sessions scheduled for the summer. Fall semester begins August 15th.
A church group says in a new federal lawsuit that an Alabama city is illegally restricting it and other religious groups from doing door-to-door socializations. The South Central Conference of Seventh-day Evangelists is challenging the constitutionality of 2 alabaster ordinances.
In Huntsville, lawyers for a former Alabama University professor professor charged in a campus shooting rampage, are asking the Alabama Supreme Court to order the state to pay expert witnesses for her insanity defense. The 47-year-old bishop is accused of killing 3 colleagues and wounding 3 others at the University of Alabama in Huntsville in February 2010.
And in Montgomery, Country Crossing casino developer Ronald Gilley is scheduled for sentencing in Montgomery, along with 2 others who have pleaded guilty in Alabama's gambling corruption investigation. U.S. District Judge Myron Thompson set the sentence today for Gilley, his lobbyist Gerald Massey, and former state rep Terry Spencer of Elba.
Still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, the preseason Sun Belt Conference Coaches Poll was released today, and Danielle Percival will join us to let us know where the Trojans are ranked when she joins us with sports.
But first, the Obama campaign attacks Romney on his financial records. We'll have that story and more after the break.
President Obama switches up his attack on Republican rival Mitt Romney. I'm Danielle Nottingham in Washington. I'll have the story coming up.
When you're finished with your food or beverage cartons, toss it in the recycling bin. Because every carton is recyclable and can be turned into useful paper products. Put your carton in the bin with your other recyclables and let them start a new life. When the contents are gone, let the carton live on. Recycle your cartons.
At the heart of what we do in the College of Business is care for the students.
We feel like the students are our most important assets.
I have never been anywhere where I've known so many students on first-name basis.
What we try to do at Troy University is provide an experience to students that not only provide the curriculum that allows them to be successful in the business world, but we also try to expand their horizons to reach greater opportunities that maybe they didn't think they were capable of before.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now for a look at what's happening across the state and around the world, we'll go to Christina Cook at the Global News Desk. Christina?
Thank you, Judson. President Obama continues to build his argument that Mitt Romney sent jobs overseas as the head of a private equity firm. Now Romney is pushing back, telling the president to drop what he calls negative and false charges. Danielle Nottingham has more from the White House.
President Obama is back on the campaign trail, heading to the battleground state of Ohio with a stop in Cincinnati. The president is expected to continue his attacks on Mitt Romney's business record.
Oh, beautiful.
The president's campaign launched a TV ad with headlines suggesting Romney shipped jobs overseas as head of Bain Capital. Obama supporters are also slamming Romney for not releasing more than 2 years of tax returns.
The only person that's ever seen him is John McCain, and he took one look at him and picked Sarah Palin.
In an interview with CBS Sunday Morning, the president said his campaign is focused on helping the middle class.
Which vision, mine or Mr. Romney's, is most likely to deliver for those folks? Because that is where the majority of American people live.
Romney is pushing back today, charging that the president is running a negative campaign to avoid talking about his record on the economy.
What does it say about a president whose record is so poor that all he can do in his campaign is attack me?
Romney's campaign advisors say the Obama campaign ads are flat out wrong.
The Obama campaign continues to focus on these attacks, even though fact check after fact check, investigative journalist after investigative journalist has shown that Governor Romney left Bain in 1999.
Mitt Romney is in the South today raising money for his campaign. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, the White House.
Officials have declared the crisis in Syria a civil war, and residents say the violence is getting worse. Reynold Pinkston has the latest from New York.
Intense gunfire can be heard across Damascus in new video posted online from Syria. Residents say it is the worst fighting since the uprising against President Bashar al-Assad began 17 months ago. Assad's forces control the capital, but rebels are battling his troops in the suburbs. The International Red Cross now classifies the escalating conflict as a civil war, which means war crime prosecutions could follow. In the village of Tremesh, residents are still mourning after dozens were reportedly killed last week. United Nations observers say Syrian troops with heavy weapons went door to door.
So far, we've seen a number of burned out buildings, and we have seen a lot of remnants of war in terms of shelling, bullet holes, etc.
The Syrian government insists the military is not targeting civilians and denies using tanks and helicopters. Randall Pinkston, CBS News.
It's one of the busiest days ever at London's Heathrow Airport as Olympians and their families begin to arrive for the Summer Games. Rita Nissan has the latest from Europe's largest airport.
Athletes from 50 nations started arriving for the Olympic Games in London. Members of the U.S. yachting team were among the first to pass through Heathrow Airport.
Oh, it's been great. I mean, London's obviously ready and excited.
A record number of passengers, nearly 237,000 of them are expected to use the airport under heightened security.
Where are you folks coming in from?
Finland.
Members of the Finland sailing team and the New Zealand yachting team told us they sailed through immigration.
It's pretty smooth, really. I mean, nothing really special or anything like that.
It was easy. Really quick. Don't have to think about anything.
Welcome to London! An army of 1,000 trained volunteers who together speak 20 different languages are on hand to greet the Olympians.
They would get a welcome from a uniformed volunteer with a big smile saying welcome to London and good luck with the Games.
16,000 Olympians are arriving in London this week. Most of them are flying into Heathrow.
Welcome to London.
Thank you.
What's it like to be here?
Wonderful. The athletes and their families don't have to worry about London's infamous traffic jams. They're allowed to use special express lanes to drive from the airport to the Olympic Village. Starting next week, 30 miles of roads will be restricted to Olympic use only. Violators will be hit with $200 fines. Rita Nissan for CBS News, London.
And that wraps things up from the Global News Desk. Now, back to you, Judson.
Thanks, Christina. And now Danielle Percival joins us for a look at sports. So, Danielle, there's no Troy sports in action right now, but we still have some Trojan news to talk about, right?
That's right, Judson. Still trying to find that local connection, talk about the local sports, and with Sunbelt Media Days going on, it's the perfect time to talk about it, so let's get into it.
Thanks.
Well, the countdown is on. It's less than 50 days till football season. Anybody else excited? Sunbelt Media Day in New Orleans means the release of the preseason coaches poll. It's out today, so where do the Trojans fall? Well, 5th place, behind FIU at the top, followed by Ark State, Louisiana Lafayette, and Western Kentucky. Now, 4 Trojans were named to the preseason all-conference football team as well. 3 seniors on the defensive side of the ball, and junior Eric Thomas, a wide receiver. Thomas led the Sun Belt with 9 touchdown catches last season and is one of 3 wide receivers named to the all-conference preseason team. The 3 on defense are the Davises, Tony Davis and Kenoris Davis, and defensive back Brendan Trawick, who was ranked 6th in the NCAA last season with 75 solo tackles and finished 16th nationally, averaging 10.2 tackles per game, and that might have contributed to this. Watch lists are being released, and the first player for Troy to be named to an award watch list this season is Brendan Trawick, and you can probably see why. Trawick, a safety, was named to the Thorpe Award watch list Friday and is one of only 35 players in the country to make the list. The Thorpe Award is given each year to the best defensive back in the nation. Trawick led the Sun Belt Conference in tackles last season with 123 in his first year suiting up for the Trojans. Well, the first chance to see Trawick and the team in action will come September 1st on the road against the UAB Blazers. It was also announced on Friday that that game will be televised on Fox College Sports. And fans, you'll have to be up early if you want to tailgate before this one. Kickoff for the first game of the season is set for 11 a.m. September 1st.